What's going on, beautiful people? Today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to deal with unsupportive parents. So this is probably like the most requested video. I can't even tell you the amount of people that will be in my DMs asking for answers, or my comments, or just Snapchatting me, like across the board. I would say this is one of the most highly requested videos, and I kind of held off a little bit in making this video simply because I'm not one to really talk a lot about my relationship with my parents or just with my family in general, because it is very messy. There has been a lot of supportive moments, there have been a lot of unsupportive moments, so it's just been very conflicting to make a video like this, even though especially knowing where I am on my timeline and where I am personally, mentally. So you always gotta be very mindful of those things when sharing those type of backgrounds and information and stuff like that. But I pretty much know how to navigate this in a thorough way where you guys can still obtain some important information and where I still feel like I'm doing no harm to anyone. If that makes sense. Yeah. And maybe down the line I'll make a part 2 more in depth, or maybe just more personal, but I'm just making it well enough for you guys to have some of your answers, some of your questions answered. Anyways, and just understand this. What I believe that helps me may not be the same thing that could help you. So this is completely personal, and how things worked for me and how I see them to be the most beneficial to others. Not saying that this is the only way, or the you know, all by all means this is correct. You know, it's different for everybody, and really it depends on the approach that you have organically, you know. So, but number one, I would say what is most important for yourself. Actually, no, I'm gonna take that back. It's not number one most. Well, it's high up there. But just know you need to surround yourself with people that support you, right? Whether that is physically or virtually. And I only say virtually because, you know, in this day and age, everything is happening via social media. And back in my days when I first came out without knowing the correct terminology, I was on my Xbox 360 playing with my friends that I did not know who they were. One lives in Ohio, one lives in Kentucky, you know, all over the place. And that's like how I kind of came out. And y'all know, as a gamer, it's pretty brutal out there. So you have to have thick skin. And the way how I kind of said it was like I was stealth and was like, oh, I'm a guy. And at that time, well, I didn't say, oh, I'm a guy, but like, you know, basically I was accepted as one of the guys. I didn't tell them off the bat, oh, I'm trans or this and that. It was just organic, and the relationships formed that way. So that's how I was being supported. I was in an environment where they didn't particularly know who I am personally to know whether or not if I was a female or a male, but they knew me enough where they could hit me up on Kick and be like, yo, you trying to play Call of Duty Black Ops? I'd be like, sure. And then I'm one of the guys. And I felt supported in that sense because I was environmentally a guy with them, you know? So I only say this because that was my situation, at least for that moment in time, where I felt like I was accepted. Now, if you have a person or a friend that is, you know, close to you in proximity, like you'll go to school with them or they're in your community, and you know that they're supportive of you, definitely reach out to them, tell them how you feel, or just vent, like let them be your outlet. You know, if every and any friendship should be mutual, you know, whether that's with just sharing y'all's emotions or happiness, emotions, whatever, or just having fun and going out and do things. Their support can just be distracting you from the moment. And I want you guys to understand, having mental instant gratification is necessary when you have something like this. Now, hold on. I know a lot of people say, I'd rather be sad and face reality. That's true, but in the moment, do you always need to feel sad? And this is, I'm not talking about in the sense of like depression and all that. I'm talking about instant gratification. Knowing like, if someone buys me some Sour Patch Watermelon some Sour Patch Watermelon, I'm instantly going to be happy because that's my candy right there. If you buy me that, I'm happy. So I'm talking about like those little small moments. You can definitely go after all those small instant gratification moments for you to feel better about yourself. Because right now you need to chase onto any type of positivity in your life so you can get on, like continue to move on to the next day. So finding that friend, or like physically finding that friend, or virtually finding that friend, or I don't know, spiritually, you can also just do it through like religion if you practice that, like in that way, in that sense. But finding those type of environments is essential, all right? And then having those little many instant gratification moments, that will also propel you to be more successful because you're not so focused on the negative. When you have a negative environment, when you have a negative mindset, negative things happening to you, you're not really trying to better it in any way, then it's too much negativity. There's too many things that are going wrong that need to be amended in some way. So make those little small things happen. And like I say all the time, you become your environment. You don't want to become something that's that negative, bad stuff. And I'm not saying, because I know some of y'all might just take this the wrong way and be like, oh, I'm gonna splurge my money and da-da-da-da. No, save your money. Save your money. Just do small things that will pay off in the long run, because you have a nice memory that you can look back on and say, oh wow, I remember I did this with that friend and whatever, or I played this game, and you know. But just make sure you do everything in healthy amounts, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. This next one kind of goes back to like that, surround yourself with people that are supportive. Find an outlet, whether that be a friend, a therapist, or like if you're more like what's it called? A verbose type of person. You know, find a type of outlet like that. Or if you're more physical, you know, definitely go for something like a sport. Like, I know when I was transitioning, right, I was playing football. To me, that's like stereotypically a very masculine sport. Now, am I saying that girls can't play it? No, but I'm saying like stereotypically, that was what I needed to feel more aligned, right? So, and that was my outlet. And it made me get so much better mentally because I was learning a lot of things about discipline and just becoming an overall better person because of just like the football program that we had, and then as well as making bonds with the people on the team, which also made me feel like, oh, I'm one of the boys. So it's doing little things like that that helps out a lot. It's just finding like, if I could smash something into your head, it's finding that environment. Also, I know when I was younger, I followed so many different random transgender pages on Instagram. Like, this is like 2013 or 2014, right? And I'm following, it's like trans guys _ double XO2. And then I was like, oh, let me follow this person. They probably gonna have some type of interesting things to share. And yeah, they had like, they taught me what binders were. They taught me like what the flag looked like and all these little things. So also this goes into the next thing I wanted to say, which was just to teach yourself, learn, make sure you know that this is what you want, because no one's going to take you seriously if you say you are transgender and then you flop the next day or the next week or whatever it is. I showed steady consistency of how I wanted to transition or why I wanted to transition, and there's multiple people that can attest to it, and I had that behavior from day one. Maybe you understand it much later in life, but it's after you realize all these little subtleties that you've been displaying throughout your years. Mine just happened to be very, very obvious. So learn about yourself, learn about what it is, and just teach yourself. And alongside with that, understand and learn more about your worth, your social worth, or your physical worth, your spiritual worth, your financial worth, all that stuff. Once you understand it, you are unstoppable. It doesn't matter to you about what your mother says, what your father says, what your aunt, uncle, grandmother, to your like, what is those other things? Your extended third cousin that came from your Saint Aunt Mary's house. Like, none of that is going to matter. As long as you know what you are worth, everything becomes a game changer. Like, I cannot stress this enough. You become unfazed. Sorry, I'm reading something. You become unfazed. You're unapologetic for who you are. You're unstoppable. And that's when I really understood who I am as a person. I made sure to I methodically made sure to calculate all of my moves, so when they aligned up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go about things this way, because now I know who I am, and I can tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get into a little story time, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what you guys are gonna do for me from moving on from this point. And that's because I found that self-confidence that I was lacking. So that's that. I was talking so damn much I kind of forgot where I was going. My next one is do what you can do to survive, right? For me personally, that was where I was in that time. It was becoming financially independent. I got a job when I just got into how old was I? Like 14, 15? Yeah, like around that age, I got a job. I was working my job was like 2 hours away through commuting, and I did it every single day. Didn't care, because that got me some dinero, and I was out here buying clothes off of my guy friends. You know, they're worn out clothes. I was buying it off of them because I was serious about this. And I was like, oh, if my mother isn't gonna buy me this and that type of thing, all right, I'm gonna buy it myself. You know, I don't want you guys to feel sorry for yourselves. You guys need to understand that this is a life-changing decision, and if that's the case and you're not getting that support at home, support yourself. You're unstoppable when you support yourself. So buy things that you need, whether that is, and understand if you're in a really unsupportive environment, buy the gender-neutral versions of those things. Like, take the necessary steps that help you in your situation. Like for me, I don't give two rotten eggs. I'm trying to be clean. I don't give two rotten eggs about how my family felt about it. I was like, I'm doing me, and this is what I'm gonna do next. So I bought those guy clothes, you know, whether they supported me or not. I did this, that, and the third, whether they supported me or not. I did all those things because I was like, I don't give a F about what y'all say. I'm doing it regardless. If y'all with me, that's cool. If y'all not, that's cool too. I'm still doing me, so I can never have to really depend on you unless I really have to. But like in all cases, I didn't have to unless I was trying to make things happen immediately, because, you know, age barriers and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. I was getting clothes from the lost and found. Like, there's always a way. You guys can always find a way. Just understand and utilize your resources, the things that you have around you. Woo! The other one was make calculated moves with follow-up plans. Like, I remember when I had all this going down. Like, and mind you, my family is long. I have mother, stepfather, mother, stepmother, mother, father, stepfather. Like, I got a lot of parents, you know. But I always felt like I've been independent. Just, that's that. So when I had that meeting that I be telling you guys about all the time, when I had that meeting with my coordinator, my guidance counselor, and et cetera, I told them this is how things are gonna go. And I had like the meeting, brought the family members to the table. I told them this is how I felt, told them this and that. Like, I'm initiating things. You need to initiate things, but with that follow-up plan. So then I also said, this is how I want us to go about it next. Because if you don't have that next, then they're not going to take you seriously. Next, I was like, I want us to look into medically transitioning. I want us to looking into getting a gender therapist so I can get that referral, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And slowly, they started to fall in line because, you know, like ultimatums. But like doing all those things, like I know some people, they'll say, oh, let me tell my mother and father that I'm trans. So then they do that, and then their parents are just like, what? Kicks them out. And then you're like, oh, I mean, I guess I suspected this, but I didn't want it to be true. You need to always plan out for every single possible outcome. So if you know they might kick you out, or even if you don't know if they're gonna kick you out, have a backup plan. Maybe have a friend, that supportive person that I was mentioning earlier, and have them on deck. So like if they kick you out, you go to that person's house. And I know it's gonna suck. I know that's terrible. I know it is the worst feeling in the world to get kicked out, but you have someone that's gonna support you at the end of the day, and that person truly loves you. Because I feel like if someone truly loves you, they want you to have happiness and achieve happiness in any sort of way that you can find it. Now, when I say that, people get it mixed up and confused, especially parents or any type of adults, because they think that their idea of happiness is what you want and is what you need, when that's not the case. You know what you need. Maybe it's not like immediately, but you can kind of feel out what you want and need in life, just inherently. So don't stray from that base of your own personal knowledge, okay? That's all I have for today. I don't know if I went on a rant or if I did any of that. I'm gonna look at all that when I edit. But I hope this was informative enough for you guys to, I don't know, find some sense of understanding through this haze of Sean spewing his random ideas and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I also made a fitness account, so I'm gonna put that in the description. Hope y'all like that too. Got a new tattoo. See, I'm trying to cram in all these new things at once. Got a new tattoo. Whew. That's that. And heading out to college soon, so I'll probably, well, I might do like a little dorm hall, might not. We'll see how things go.